Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and got a good one for you today, guys. I'm at a place that a subscriber recommended called Badlands Park, which I have never been, but you guys have to see this place because I'm in a city called Laguna Niguel, and you walk out, you've got a gated community with houses that are, 10 million bucks over here, and you've got a view of Catalina Island from here. Absolutely insane. So this is just unbelievable. It's a little breezy, but man, oh man, oh man, is this beautiful. It really is. But we got a video to conduct, and they're coming for you guys. Get ready. So we're going to cover a lot today, but before I get into it, please take a second. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel, and let's get right into it, guys. The IRS, okay, with the Inflation Reduction Act, which is preposterous to call it that, Janet Yellen steps forward and just says that there's $80 billion that's going to be used to come after us, okay? And what's going to happen is that people that make under $400,000 a year are going to be the victim of more audits right now. And that's going to happen, okay? So that's the majority of us right now. Now, the other thing that's bad is that think about the largest percentage of people that are audited. Think about this. This is staggering, and the stories are below. And that is the largest percentage of people that are audited right now are people that make under $25,000 a year. So what they're looking for is the scofflaws that say that they lose money and don't make any money, and they're coming after those people, to say the least. So, man, oh man, she was on Capitol Hill last week, and they asked her about this, and she refused to answer the question. Are you coming after these people? She wouldn't say. Okay? Look at this, guys. This is unbelievable up here. So, I love people that have, names like GG647, that's what this person was, and they, man, oh man, were they right. This is just stunning up here. So, again, Badlands Park. So I'm sure in the summertime, this is Rattlesnake Festival, but it's unbelievable. So Grandma Yellen says that the IRS is coming after everybody and that they're hiring more people. But what they're hiring, just so you guys know, is they're hiring more lawyers and more forensic accountants that know their stuff. And because business is bad, they have a flurry of people right now that are available to work for the IRS, that know what they're doing, that are good. And it's funny, I had this conversation with somebody today about how you want to have an accountant that loves numbers. And some people are just like that. They just absolutely dig being an accountant. They love the numbers of it. They love deductions. They love to understand your business so they can get you the proper deductions. That's a good accountant. That's somebody you want working for you that understands your business. Also, do this, guys, because tax day has been extended. You still need to go out and figure out if you're getting the proper deductions, if you're maximizing everything in your life. Have a meeting with your accountant. Well, he's going to charge me for that. And yes, he is. And again, I've had, a lot of people write me and say, Dan, this was the most successful thing I ever did. Thank you so much for that advice because it saved me money and it changed my path on what I was doing. So, get ready, guys. Get ready. It is pathetic that, the IRS is being used to weaponize, themselves against us. It's not, traditional business deductions and things like that. They're looking to cook the books and come after everybody that is taking taxes. Good. So, so share your thoughts on this stuff so far, guys. This is absolutely stunning up here. We're going to get a little wind here and there, but just absolutely beautiful. I mean, what a view. So thank you for recommending this. Great story, multiple, about the car industry right now. GM right now is talking about how they have made these offers to employees like, hey, we can lay you off or you can take a severance buyout. Think about this. 5,000 employees took the buyout. I don't want to work here anymore. This place sucks. I'll take the year pay. Have a nice day. I'll take your offer. Based on how long they worked there, their offer was based on that. Paul Jacobson was at a Bank of America conference this week, and he talked about the company. He's the CFO. Paul Jacobson is the CFO of General Motors. He was talking at the conference saying, hey, listen, this is going to be expensive for us. It's going to cost us $1 billion this quarter to get rid of these people. $1 billion. But by year's end, we're going to save $1 billion in salaries. Isn't that nuts, guys, to think about? So absolutely amazing that they're going to do this. But General Motors, it's anticipated at the beginning of the year they had 58,000 people. 5,000 people are taking the buyouts to get out of the company. 5,000. Ford is talking about how they're having massive problems getting people to work. They're going to hire 300 more people in the EV car division. It's not selling. EV cars are not selling like they thought. Same thing with General Motors. And, you know, Mr. Jacobson talked about one other thing is that we're transitioning from combustible engines to electric motors. And, you know, it's going slower than they thought it would. So there's that. You know, it's really odd that, you know, they thought that this thing was just going to take an hour and a half to, you know, change from one, you know, type of motor to another. That's the thing that's fascinating. Plus, you know, he also talked about the problems with the batteries that General Motors has. You know, that's the one thing. Tesla, I've had people write me that they've had a 10-year jump on everybody. That's why everything's so great. Well, okay, maybe that's it. But it's kind of wild that you just don't have the problems. You think people would look at what other people are doing and kind of copy that. That's just me, but there's that. So, you know, commercial real estate still a huge problem. You know, other banks are stepping forward talking about how this is going to be the canary in the coal mine for the economy, that people just don't realize that all this vacant space that people are not paying for, because, you know, the majority of real estate's not paid for. People have a mortgage, whether it's a building, whether it's a house. These houses I'm walking by right now, okay? Not everybody's loaded and has it all paid off. So with that being said, you know, think about it. You've got maintenance on a building. You've got the electricity in a building, the insurance. You've got to maintain the, you know, the landscaping, the parking lot, everything like that. And that's what people just don't get. And that costs a ton of money every month to do that. So this is something that's coming, you know, to the forefront of everything, because now these people have to pay. We heard about the moratorium being lifted in Los Angeles for evictions. So it's just a matter of time until the evictions start happening again. And my real estate friends that are in foreclosures have said they have people that once they can get these people out down, they're going to sell the properties as soon as they can. Want to get out of the landlord business as quick as possible. So you're going to see more and more things like that happen. So the General Motors thing is interesting. The Ford thing is interesting. Ford stocks keeps dropping because of all the problems that they've had. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. You know, Wells Fargo Bank just stepped forward and said that commodities are about to go into a super cycle and that we could see gold hit $3,000 an ounce. You know, you need to have gold in your retirement, and the best thing that you can do is get an IRA or 401k from Patriot Gold Group. Call them today, 888-330-1431, and get a free investor guide. They have a no fee for life IRA and 401k. You know, contact them, guys. Find out what you can do to get this as soon as possible. You know, when you look at companies like BlackRock and the decisions that they've made lately and how they say that gold is going to be the best thing to get into, do it before it's too late. Call them at 888-330-1431. Even if you already have an IRA or 401k, get information on how you can transfer it with no tax liability. They will help you with this. But do it before it's too late. Do what billionaires have done. Do what investors have done. Contact Patriot Gold, 888-330-1431. Get some sound advice. Another Janet Yellen story that's below that's just kind of funny. She was leaving Yale University saying how, hey, we've solved the banking problem and you won't see the outflows from the small banks anymore. What is she talking about? Okay. Every day, banks are losing depositors in the smaller banks. It's happening all over the place. And if you could read my emails and my comments on my videos, you'd see that people, oh yeah, Dan, I pulled money out and we're going to spread it out amongst 6 different banks. You know, think about that. But this is not happening. Just because someone says we fixed it doesn't mean that they fixed it. It's that simple. You know, Charlie Munger, who is Warren Buffett's right-hand man, who's 185 years old himself, Charlie Munger says, investing in stocks is as addictive as heroin. Okay. Thank you, Charlie. Okay. I love stuff like this. Kids, stay away from heroin and the stock market. Okay. So kind of funny, but thank you, Charlie. I really appreciate your input and your honesty. Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina, he was talking about something that I had no idea was an issue until now. Mobile homes, okay? The Biden administration wants to change the regulations on mobile homes so that they are more energy efficient. And the problem with this is it's going to make them be priced out of the marketplace. It's going to make people have to spend as much as $7,000 to make a mobile home energy efficient. Guys, I mean, it gets to a point that the people that live in mobile homes, there's people that use them for their vacation homes, and then there's people that use them for their main home, and that's what they can afford. But to sit there and say you need to make this energy efficient or you can't live here is insanity, okay? I have a friend that lives at the beach, and he's got one of those wall furnaces, and the place has no insulation. It's got single pane windows. It was built 75 years ago, and he loves it, but he freezes 2 or 3 months of the year here in California, and that's the price. Well, the people that live in the mobile homes, guys, to sit there and say, hey, you've got to spend more money just to live there is insanity, because it's people that generally can't afford it. And here's a staggering statistic: 6% of the houses out there are mobile homes. Who knew? Read the article. But Tim Scott fighting for this, saying, hey, delay these energy efficiency things. And again, this is the stuff that was put in the Inflation Reduction Act. Okay, the poorest people get affected by things like that. Share your thoughts on this stuff so far, guys. To stay with our theme of they're coming after you, a story that we talked about like beginning of the year was a company called Frank. And Frank was a company that would help people get access to student loans and connect their colleges with student loans. And they advertised themselves as the Amazon of student loans. And they sold the company to JP Morgan. Okay? Well, the woman that owned the company, Charlie Javis, yes, her name is Charlie, and she's 30 years old. She sold the company for $175 million, okay? And one thing that, was stated by JP Morgan was that they were fleeced and they were taken advantage of, and that she fabricated 4 million different accounts and different users on the account, on the site, to make it look much busier than it was. And she was like, hey, you guys are out of your minds, this is crazy. And they stopped making the payments to her on her $175 million. By the way, if you guys ever sell your company, don't take payments if you can avoid it. Get your money up front, because I cannot tell you how many times people have written me, or friends or family members that have bought businesses and it falls apart 45 days after it goes together, because everybody thinks they can run it better than you can, and they can't. Well, Charlie just got charged with fraud in Manhattan. They, are indicting her, and they're charging her with 1 count of fraud, wire fraud, all this fun stuff. The story is below, but who do you think had their hand in that? I for one, said what an idiot Jamie Dimon was, and that they should have fired Jamie Dimon for all his opinions about what a great company it was and how she's a boss babe and all this stuff. I love that term. I love when they call women boss babes and then they fall flat. Okay, but Jamie Dimon wasn't about to be made a fool of, which he clearly was and is, and he wasn't going to tolerate it. So guess what? They charged her with a crime. They charged her with bank fraud and fraud in general. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out. But Frank, the site, they're saying it was completely made up. Everything was completely fabricated, and the sale was a joke. The fact that she got $175 million and then took payments on the 175, she's an idiot. Okay, so there's that. Share your thoughts on this one so far, and let me know what you think, and if you've heard about this at all. But read the story below, because it's definitely worth reading. Isn't this nice? Such a beautiful spot up here. The problem with this is that because of the ocean air, this is always windy, and it would be terrible to live here because you would just, you couldn't sit in your backyard. It would constantly be breezy out here, but that's the price you pay for that view. So, and some idiot with a camera. Share your thoughts on this stuff so far, guys. Here's a couple stories out of New York that are kind of fascinating. And the first one is, we've talked a lot lately about foreclosures. Well, there are a tremendous amount of houses that are this close to being sold and being foreclosed upon. And in New York, there was one on 69th Street, East 69th Street. And it was a $30 million property that's been in the same family for over 50 years. And what happens, and this happens a lot with these beach communities too. You walk by these beautiful homes here overlooking the ocean. Okay, let me spin around here. You got these houses, and this is their backyard. Okay, problem with it is that mom and dad, grandma, whoever buys the house way back when, property taxes were low, the family was flush, the idiot nephew is the only one left, and he's got no money. So he inherits the house, and what's he got to do? He can't even afford the property taxes, can't afford to maintain the property, so he's got to unload it. So this house on East 69th Street is no exception, okay? They sold the place out of foreclosure. Listen, we want deals, we want cash offers. You got to agree to a few things. You got to agree to forego inspections, okay? So no engineers in the building, no, inspections, no fix the plumbing, no fix the electrical. The building's probably 75 years old, to say the least. And the house sold for $18 million. Okay, tremendous deal. 18 from 20. They had to agree to let the people stay in the house for 60 days after it closes escrow, and no charge, free rent to stay there 60 days to get their stuff out. And again, the family's been there for 50 years. Okay, so you're going to see this more and more, guys. You're going to see more and more foreclosures like this that aren't really foreclosures, because there's no foreclosure record. There's just a sale of a house that in 2021 they wanted 30 million bucks for, and now they got 18 for it. So you're going to see that more and more. Once again, if you guys are looking for a house and you have to get out, I got to get a house. I got to get a house. Look for deals, guys. Look for ways to save money. Look at the neighborhoods that you want to live in and go there and live there. If you can rent there for a year, rent there, 6 months even. Experience the place. Experience it during rain, hot, cold, wet, dry, parties, holidays, everything. Because, my favorite was there's a track in San Clemente that these people lived in. Oh, it's a nice neighborhood. It's horrible. Wait till you see it on 4th of July. They have a parade. They block everything. It's just no privacy. And these people had a walkway that was down to the common area that everybody used, and they would carry everything, and they had not an ounce of privacy. So people need to live with that. The other thing is, have you ever been to a place that doesn't accept cash and you only have cash on you? Like, for example, the ballparks right now, like when you go to Anaheim Stadium for the Los Angeles Angels, they only take debit cards and credit cards. There's no cash at all. So what do you do if you have cash? They have a special ATM machine that you can buy debit cards in and go pay for things. And it's a headache. Now in New York City, because they don't want to get rid of cash, they have a cashless rule where you have to accept cash at some of these restaurants. So the restaurants are sick of taking cash, so they're using what they call a reverse ATM. So you go and you put your money in the ATM in one of these restaurants and it spits out a kind of a gift card, debit card for you to use. And they say, hey, these are great, these are good wherever Visa and MasterCard is accepted. Well, if I had cash only, guys, I'd say I don't want to do this. I don't want the headache for this. Pass. So have you guys experienced those reverse ATMs yet? And I hate businesses, not that I carry cash with me all the time, but, take what you can take. And you see this in lower end communities that they have a lot of cash, okay? And to sit there and say you've got to get a debit card to go to the papaya stand, is ridiculous. Plus, you're starting to see businesses that have been around forever, and there's the place called the Papaya Stand or something like that, the story is below, that has been around for 50 years, and they're closing right now. So people can't make it. Why is that? Why is it that these establishments that we've seen forever, that have been part of our lives forever, are going out of business? Very simple. People have no money. People have no money. Now you're going to restrict them from giving you cash. And one of the imbeciles in the article below, cash is dirty. We learned that during the health crisis. Oh, okay. Okay. Cash is dirty, guys. Speaking of cash, Bitcoin, stuff like that, Ray Dalio, they interviewed him, and he was on Fox News, great article below, talking about what do you think is the way to go? Bitcoin, because it's surging right now, or do you think gold is the way to go? World's largest hedge fund owner. Now, he stepped down from running it, Ray Dalio from Bridgewater, but he said, listen, gold is the way to go. Gold is the future. Gold has stood the test of time. And once again, Bitcoin is not. So I get people that freak out when I talk about, Bitcoin and questioning what it's going to be a hedge against. What is it a hedge against, guys? So share your thoughts on this stuff right now. And do you think Ray Dalio's an idiot for this, or do you think was spot on for his opinion that gold is the way to go? Look at everything, guys. Look at what these central banks are doing, the billionaires, all these people are buying gold right now. So, interesting. Let me know. Share your thoughts. It is anticipated that for the first time in 2 years, that job listings went below 10 million. So here's the other thing that we've talked about, that maybe they're getting real, because there's this thing called ghost jobs where people advertise jobs that don't exist. So now they're saying that there's less than 10 million jobs out there. And kind of fascinating. This place is pretty cool out here. It's all these different walkways and parks and places to go. How about this? Power outages are up 64% across the country. Isn't that kind of weird? Kind of odd timing for that. So you're seeing more power outages. Story below says it's all because of inclement weather that make the power outages happen more often. Okay, I'll believe that when I see it. Next thing is, there's different brands that are trying to get people to shop there. Eileen Fisher is a store that I've really never heard of, but this led me down this path. And Eileen Fisher has a program that you can turn in old clothes. So they want to recycle old clothes to thrift them and resell them. So regardless of the condition, they will give you a minimum of $5 for bringing something back to the store as a coupon to bring it back to their store, which leads to the final story, and that's this, guys. People right now are thrifting more than ever, okay? And on average, people that thrift and do it on a regular basis, they say save an average of $1,500 a month. Guys, I myself, I love going to the higher end thrift stores in nicer cities, Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, Huntington Beach, where the people have money and they're dropping off higher end clothes. You'd be surprised what you get. the story I've told 100 times is I had a jacket, and the thing was beautiful. It was a tweed jacket, I still have it. And I was up on stage talking one time, and I reach in the pocket. I bought it from a thrift store for 30 bucks. I reached in the pocket, it had the price tag still attached for $675 from Nordstrom's. So some clown bought it, and his wife, I'm not going to wear that. Give it to Dan. Dan will wear it. It'll look horrible on me, but it may look good on Dan. So anyways, it looked great on me. Please don't forget the like button. Do you guys thrift? Do you guys ever do that? I think it's great. I think you go to the higher end places. You know, you don't go to the low end cities. You go to the higher end places. And I'm telling you, I've taken so many people to these different places, and they're like, oh, I never knew this was there. Gotten suits, I've gotten everything from it. But don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Sorry for the breezy conditions, but man, oh man, was it worth it as I walk out to this other summit up here. Look at this, man. Is that crazy? Okay, so whoever recommended Badlands Park, you know, hello at iAllegedly.com if you want to send me anything. But I appreciate you guys, one and all, okay? And I will see you guys very soon.